Welcome, people of God, to the Let's Keep Our Education Catholic podcast. On the last part of episode 2, I am your host, Sister Augustine Ambata. Now, as we are wrapping up this episode on the purpose of Catholic education, recall in parts 1 and 2, I presented how Catholic schools could form the body and the soul, and now in this final part, I shall be looking at the spirit as part of the tripartite being and the role Catholic schools play in grooming the spiritual faculty of the learner. In the creation account of Genesis chapter 1 verse 26, it is written that we are created in the image and likeness of God. Let us use our human nature for example. If you are like someone or you possess some type of resemblance with a person, there must be some similarities that connect you two, right? So we are created in the image of God. It is not literally referring to the physical, but the immaterial part of us. We are like God in the spirit and we contact God in the spiritual realm. In this spiritual journey and growth, I approached it in 4 levels. Looking at this graphic, it grows from the lower part to the topmost, following the arrow sign. First is the experience, accompaniment, deeper encounter with God and freedom in grace. For some anyway, it may not follow this chronological order because we grow differently. First, the experience. At this stage of the first grade through 3 or primary 1 to 3, Catholic education provides a series of experiences for the child and more to observe. Experts in child psychology will tell you that children can learn faster by observing. At this stage, they begin to observe actions in the different spiritual spaces and environments that are made available in the school. They monitor movements during spiritual exercises and events such as prayer time, masses, celebrations, etc. They want to memorize and mimic roles and they are ready to role play. Here, the child is watching and observing every spiritual exercise. They have not started having a deeper encounter with God in the spiritual realm. They just want to watch and play, which is part of the spiritual stages. Second, accompaniment. Here they are at primary 4 and all through their secondary level. They need a role model. They want to see you do it. They are curious about the things of God. They want you to accompany them on their spiritual youth immersion journey. They need your experience to make a connection of their personal deeper encounter with God. They want to go on a retreat with an experienced person. Catholic schools have offices for spiritual formation, pilgrimages, excursions, spiritual direction. They have CCD classes, preparing kids for Holy Communion. They have religious men and women and lay faithful as directors. These are various means to accompany learners in Catholic schools. Third, deeper encounter with God. This is a spiritual independence. The learner is grown here into a deeper relationship with God and can connect the spiritual journey to the relationship with people. At this stage of the formation, some have already made the decision of their future for religious life, future for priesthood, for marriage, for single vocation. Everything that matters here is the connection between God and the common good, their future. They want to fulfill their dreams to serve God, their passion for holiness, and their longing for service. The final stage, freedom in grace. Here, they do not need actual formation with rules and regulations. They are now well informed and formed. They are either graduate students, professors in Catholic schools, retired Catholic educators, are Catholic parents, old men and women who went through Catholic schools, single men and women, religious men and women, because it doesn't really matter your age, you are not completely formed until your earthly journey is complete. So here they can say, now what shall it profit a human if he or she gains the whole world and loses his or her life? Now nothing matters to them outside the ultimate end. The church has formed them such that they think so much about meeting God in heaven, which is our ultimate end. The summary and takeaway. Having analyzed the formation of the human person in the tripartite being of the body, soul, and spirit, which in my opinion is fundamental to the purpose of Catholic education, let us look at them together in one piece. Recall in the first part of this episode on the body, I argued on how Catholic school education provides, or rather should provide, both human and material resources needed to form the body, and through those avenues, the physical faculty of the person is developed. In the second part of the episode, which is on the soul, there we are provided with information on how through the head the cognitive capacities of the learners are nurtured and strengthened, and through the heart the teachings are translated into positive actions. It is within this structure of the child's growth that the mental and moral faculties are developed. Later on in the third part, the spirit, our journey and our encounter with God grow on our different levels of formation and maturity. From the primary classes, Catholic school education plays the role of nurturing, accompanying, disciplining, supporting, and appreciating the learner to develop the spiritual faculty. Putting it together, we can understand here that through the formation that Catholic education provides, ultimately the child's mental, moral, social, physical, and spiritual faculties are developed, which is the education of the whole child. This whole child or whole person is now developed to seek his or her ultimate end and the good of the society, which is the summit of the purpose of Catholic education. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think the Catholic schools of today still develop the whole child? As always, thank you for your contributions, and let's continue to keep our education Catholic.